4 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
You must clearly evaluate in your life how much of your life is happening from outside around you, how much of it is just your psychological structure. This is something distinctly, you must draw a line on this. What is… right now we're sitting here, what's happening here? What am I doing within myself? This distinct line if you set up, what is happening in my mind, what is happening around me, two different things. These are two different things, isn't it? Whatever happens here, you can react and think these two things are same. Right now, somebody is going to call you a fool. I will. Now, what happens within you is yours. The word fool is mine, but what happens within you is yours, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes. Because the word fool is not hurtful in any way, it's not a bullet. Only because the way you respond or react, things happen. This distinction you must set up in your life. What is mine? What am I doing? What is the world doing to me? If you look at this, the world is hardly doing anything to you, it's not even interested in you most of the time. Most of the things are your own stuff and you think the world is doing all this to you. Yes or no? Yes. If you set up this distinction, what is my my contribution to all the rubbish that I am, what is the world's contribution, you will see the world is doing precious little, believe me, very little. Rest is all yours. Now, what is yours if you take charge? 98% of your life is transformed. 2% leave it to me, I'll take care of it for you.
He's saying most of the work that's getting done to you or done against you is coming from you. That's a heavy notion. I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason. We live on KBLA Talk 1580 during the holiday seasons. Listen, man, this topic is lit. Being your worst enemy is the same as being your greatest teacher. In other words, your greatest challenges, right, can provide valuable information, insight, intel on what you need to know about how to overcome yourself. We're outwardly driven, everything, right, which makes it easy for us to blame. Right? Outwardly driven, or outwardly focused, I should say. We focus on the external. I'm going to go out into the world and I'm going to conquer it, and I'm going to get all that I need. I'm going to get the partner I want, and they're going to show up and provide in the way that I need them to provide for my needs, right? But really, all of this work is internal, right? These people come into your life, they trigger you, and then once you're triggered, you have a choice. Am I going to blame somebody for how they showed up, or am I going to understand why the trigger exists? Can I disarm the trigger? So in a way, they're a mirror, right? They mirror the work that has yet to be done. Now, if we ignore the mirror, that's how you're effectively being your own worst enemy. I've got a caller on the line. She was in the midst of talking about anxiety. Attila from Houston, Texas. Your thoughts?
Child, well, Sad Guru just be slapping folks.
He does.
But I mean, like, he summed it up perfectly, though, even in relation to anxiety. And it's kind of like you said, what can you do about it? So again, focusing on that which you can control and leaving the rest to whatever. So to me, that's also non-attachment, right? Like, I find myself kind of overly attached on things that don't necessarily, I don't want to say they don't directly impact me, but I think anxiety can make you feel that things are more, how do I say, like, it involves you more than what it actually does. Like, certain things that are not that big of a deal or really may not impact you as much, you will exacerbate them and ruminate in order to try and gain some sort of control.
Right.
And
but that's
yeah,
anxiety.
I just don't want to do that anymore.
That's the nature of anxiety. It's not real. The mind makes it real, right?
Yeah.
So anxiety is a perceived
it real
fear.
Too, though.
Yeah, it's a perceived fear. It's like, oh my God, what does that mean? What are they doing? What is this? You know, that's where the rumination comes in, right? But you know what I've learned about anxiety?
What?
It's kind of weird. Okay. Fear in general, it's kind of weird. What are the sensations you feel when you feel anxiety?
I normally feel it in my chest, like a heaviness.
Right. Do you feel like this heat come over your body? Like a flash, almost like a heat? That's how I feel it. I'll be like,
well, I feel heat when I get angry.
Okay.
And anger, I guess that could be triggered through anxiety too, but
Yeah. What I found is, this is where mindfulness and all of those meditation practices come in. You just lean into it. You don't judge it. You don't push it away. You just lean into it. And when you lean into it, I find that fear, anxiety, all those unsettling feelings and emotions tend to subside rather quickly if you just sit in it without judgment, without condemnation. But it's hard. It's hard the first few times. But once you start doing it will subside. Does that make sense?
It's true. I mean, like, I started writing. That's what I'd be doing. That's where these topics be coming from. I'm not gonna cap. I think I do, because I feel like if I can reflect and see it on a piece of paper, then I can, in a sense, make sense of it, because that's my way of, like, processing, right? And so even when, like I said, it's things that are, even when it's things that are external to me, if I write about it and I'm able to really express it in a way that is healthy, then I feel a lot better after the fact. So, but I think it's a process. And every now and then, I think there are certain things that kind of jar you. But I realize, again, like I said, for me, sometimes that's necessary for me to move to that next level. Like, I look at it like the anxiety is the accelerant to my next level. Because,
I see it.
And it's not to say that it's good. I'm just saying that I'm learning to kind of use it more as a tool. And it's just same thing with anger as well. You know, instead of just kind of dwelling in it or sitting in it, I take it and I use that for a greater purpose. But at the end of the day, you know, I think you're also fighting sometimes self-sabotage as well. So it's a process, but I want to thank you for that, though, because a big part of this show has really been, for me, learning to really just go within. And that's something that for me has always been somewhat uncomfortable, because I felt that if I went within, then it would expose everything without, so to speak. Like, everything's kind of on Front Street, but at the same time, that vulnerability is that superpower. So thank you.
And look, you still here. Did nothing happen to you after you went in. You went in and came right back out. I love it.
Look.
Guess what you just did, child?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the house. If you want to bring your city in the building, get to your phone lines right now. They're open. I want to talk to you. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Atlanta, Georgia, get in here. That's Nazarene X. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
I heard my tisms get triggered earlier when you said the word infant, like the spiritual infant.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me like, let me go ahead and sit down with the Most High, dig into it, see what's going on for real.
Right.
So here's what's come through my spirit so far. And I acknowledge it all as tied into the open enemy, if you will, right?
Mm-hmm.
Real quick as a disclaimer, some years ago, until I actually like had one of those Bibles that gave you even more prefacing or more subtext and all of that to say like, oh, this is this, that is that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that all of the Psalms were basically, in my own words, that was David cussing the devil out loud.
That's how you framed it. I got you.
Yeah, that was for me.
Okay.
So like one of my life verses, if you will, is Psalms 31:17.
Mm-hmm.
And it speaks to just saying like, oh Lord, let me not be ashamed, for I've called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed and let them be silent in the grave.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that was bars, and that summarized like my internal state of being, because ultimately, as it goes with another African proverb, like when I'm not calling myself wicked, like there is a separation somewhere, again, just through the grace of love, to where as we speak into with different terminologies, like we are not these characteristics, if you will, or these identifiable happenings and so forth. Like we're not even just say like those words that were put on to certain moments.
So we're not the definitions.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's bigger than that. The terrain is the experience and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So like, the whole of that is just maintaining that there's no enemy within. But I found also there is power in it in terms of, as we were just speaking to yesterday, integrating that shadow as well. And maybe that could be the teacher,
mm-hmm.
In its own right. But part of it as well, for me, I still feel like, man, there is that predisposition. Is that what a word? Predisposition, what have you? Like I feel that fire inside anything, and I'm literally trembling right now, like, because in the back of my head or in the recesses of my mind and spirit, I just feel like there is an enemy that's attacking our youth. Beyond the words, my psyche, I ain't got time, and I don't really got the capacity or care, so to speak, to have the energetic truth and really worry about what somebody called. I don't care if the enemy called me an enemy. He's going to do that from the other side of life. So, like, looking to allow, I want to say, what I acknowledge as mercy,
mm-hmm.
because life itself is a gift. I believe that it's God's mercy that I'm still here as well. But that underneath all of that is like, in my own trauma or despair and grief and being fed up with whether it's myself or not, being even more, if you put it in words like that, all powerful or more proactive in defending others or protecting the last that we got out here and stuff like that. It's like, man, it's hard for me to really still conceive reality, but that's why I just started to go black inside without necessarily the self-condemnation anymore. I believe I've grown through that, and to put it in quick words, it's, I was met with the whole thing of like, you got to get out of your own way.
Uh-huh.
That's bars and that's facts. Bigger than that as well for myself is like, get out of God's way.
Woo.
Walk
Man.
like that to that extent, and I think like, I don't know if you're, what I'm saying, if it'll be quickened in you or what have you.
I gotta
but
process that though. How, boy, get out of God's way. Woo.
That's how I feel.
Yeesh. How do we? Boy, I gotta wrap my mind around it. But keep going, keep going.
That's what you want. Like you were just speaking to, again, the power of all of these different things, like from self-authorship, self-forgiveness, willingness, awareness, and so forth. Even our sister Dorothea, like I heard God at work, that unity, the support, and just the through and through of it all, and not any type of force process, but the woman was able to be provided the space to learn. Like sometimes, again, like we'll even remove ourselves out of a school or a curriculum or from a situation just because it's quote unquote hard. But how much even better it could be when the table is set, when your environment is curated for you to be free to experience what it's like to come through a struggle. Sometimes we get that abbreviated, and I'm trying to look at it like if it's the enemy in whatever form, and that's why I used to get in trouble at class or whatever. I used to not necessarily cuss the teachers out, but
you did
kind of random. But I had to.
You did, nephew. It's all right. It's okay.
Look,
no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Nah, for real. It's just, and that's part of maybe like acknowledging my story. I had a third grade Spanish teacher that told me that she used to be a squirrel in her past life. So from that point forward, like I said, it's just a ward of mine. I'm keeping it like, you know what I'm saying, the same. But you can't talk to me no more, Chuck. I don't care how old I am.
Why did you call your uncle, man? I would have came down and took you out of that school. What in the world?
Don't even trip, man. I came home with the receipt. Like it's nothing but candy yams from now on for like the next week because I didn't share too much or something. But like part of that as well is like I've had a problem with authority as far as others have told me. But the wars is again like not letting what hurts me be my God.
Ooh,
and
I like that.
Just love. I believe like that's where
be your warden, be your oppressor. I see what you're saying, brother. Right. I hear you.
Love. So wherever these shackles are, I identify all of that as the enemy. I try to give myself and others the grace to where we are not that form. You feel me? And I believe that, you know what I'm saying, as we interact or are bound or what have you, like, as we relate with one another, we can be taught by that, but it's beyond, like I said, I don't necessarily know the words, but whatever it is, just make sure that we're not condemning one another without at least still moving with that sense of grace, because grace is a wonderful teacher too.
I love it, brother. I love it. Guess what you just did, man?
Shalom alam. ACL.
You already know. Profanity, brother. Profanity, man. We appreciate it. Thank you. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. We're on complete fire tonight. The phone lines are jumping. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Somebody bring out the confetti, baby!
Starting Monday, January 6th, KBLA Talk 1580 has a new midday lineup.
I'm excited.
Are you ready for Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornell West, Jesse Jackson Jr., D.L. Hughley, and E. Quarterly Corte back-to-back?
Oh, my God.
Are you really ready for all this smoke?
I'm ready, brother.
Yes, we still have Dominique DePrima in the mornings and Zoe Williams in the evenings, but middays just got lit on KBLA Talk 1580.
We on fire.
All across America, people are talking about our new midday lineup. Starting Monday, January 6th, our KBLA 1580 app downloads are on fire because everybody's going to be tuning in.
Yes, I love you guys. You are the bomb.
Now would be a good time to hit up SMB at KBLA1580.com if you want folks to hear about your business or brand. That's SMB at KBLA1580.com. It's going up in 2025 on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's going up.
That's what I want.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to give a little talk here in honor of my 80th birthday. So since it's a sort of momentous moment, I thought that I would talk about death. Nice, cheerful subject. But actually, I really want to talk about death because so many people fear it. And it's really not something that needs to be feared. And the same with aging, actually. So suppose you're 20 years old and you're listening to this, and you think, who needs to hear about this? But actually, the younger you are, the better, because I'm going to talk about it as something that you can prepare for throughout your whole life. So I was introduced to this idea a long time ago by my principal teacher, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche. And he gave a seminar that was entitled Death in Everyday Life. And in that seminar, he talked about that every breath is a small birth and death. That birth and death are taking place moment by moment by moment. And I remember when I heard this, my first reaction was actually a sort of feeling of panic, because there was something about, I think I really got it, that everything is changing and shifting all the time. Born, dies. And so it left me with this feeling of immense groundlessness. That was my first reaction to this little teaching. And so in retrospect, I think that was really great, because that's what you want to get in touch with if, in fact, you want to prepare for death. Now, even if you are 18, 19, 20, 16, however old you are, up to 90, 95, this is very valuable teachings, because it's teaching you not to just be preparing for your death, the kind of death of this body, death of this particular incarnation, this particular, in my case, Pema Chodron. But it's preparing you for fear of groundlessness throughout your entire life, and overcoming or relating with that fear of groundlessness. So, moment by moment, I've been training for many, many, many years in relaxing with that feeling of groundlessness, but really taking it seriously. That I was reading recently about life being as brief as a dewdrop on a blade of grass, which is such a beautiful expression. And you know, at my age, it definitely feels like that. It feels like our life is incredibly short. And you've heard, I'm sure, about that people die and they have like a life review where they remember their entire life. Well, that's already sort of starting to happen to me at 80 years old, that my whole life feels like that, gone, you know, just in a finger snap. And all those many, many adventures and dramas, heavy-duty dramas of my life and everything, just like fast forward, moving so quickly. And then I have a feeling, okay, 80 years old, maybe I'll live to 90 years old. I'm not at all eager to live to 90 years old, but that is 10 years. 10 years is really short, and very, very short. So that could throw me into a total panic, you know. But in fact, I've been preparing for years, so I am not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of groundlessness. I'm not afraid of death. So does that mean that I don't feel fear? I mean, this is kind of ironic or something. It doesn't mean that, actually, because whenever groundlessness comes up in a major way, there's always a sort of a little bit of a like that, you know, a little, but that's it. That's it. It's just like a little blurb of that you might feel just before you jump out of the airplane, you know, when you have your parachute, but still terrifying moment. And then, but maybe it's not as extreme as that. Maybe when you're actually leaving this particular body, it might be that kind of, but.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Bonnie Willis has been removed from the Georgia election case against President-elect Trump. Trump has consistently predicted this would happen.
See, when the system works, it's a beautiful thing, but she's been exposed. I can't imagine they can continue on with that case.
A state appellate court removed the Black Fulton County DA from Trump's 2020 election interference case on Thursday. Luigi Mangione appeared in federal court in New York, charged with the December 4th murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. His attorneys have not requested bail at this time. Black North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson's campaign has agreed to a $35,000 fine for campaign finance violations from 2019. The Friends of Mark Robinson committee paid the fine on December 10th following a state audit. And Black Maryland Governor Wes Moore has issued an order to modernize procurement processes, enhance contract management, and increase opportunities for small and disadvantaged businesses. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Looking for a Lenovo gaming computer this holiday? Go straight to the source, Lenovo.com, and get the best prices on the Lenovo you want, like the Legion Pro 5 gaming laptop. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Add confidence to every holiday adventure and get it done with a rugged and capable Chevy truck or SUV. Now during Red Tag, get 0% APR financing for 36 months on select Chevy models when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Offer available on all 2025 Equinox and 2024 Equinox EV, Blazer EV, and Silverado EV models. Monthly payment is $27.78 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment is 26.8%. You must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 1/2/25.
With reported hate crimes rising in recent years, California has responded through outreach efforts across state government and in collaboration with community-based organizations for the launch of CA versus Hate. This non-emergency, multilingual hate crime and incident reporting hotline provides an anonymous reporting option for victims and witnesses of hate acts reported in 15 different languages through the online portal and in over 200 languages when calling the hotline. Report anonymously by calling 833-866-4283 Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or online at any time at cavshate.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and Brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
And then it reminded me of the philosopher named Joseph Campbell, who influenced Star Wars, the story of Star Wars, as well as a number of other Hollywood movies and movies throughout the world. What is the point of life is not to slay our dragons, but to dance with them. And that idea blew my mind. Is I can see my ego as my enemy and as my boxing opponent, as a dragon I've got to slay, or I can see my ego as my best friend. And my advocate, and I can choose to dance with these dragons that have been tormenting my life.
Your inner dragons, although we define them and classify them and categorize them as our enemy, is really our ally. So you got to learn how to dance with your inner adversary. Adversity. What is a life lived without adversity, without the struggle to overcome adversity? The more overcoming, listen to what I'm saying. When you overcome some things, it humbles you. It gives you perspective. You look out into the world and you start to value things differently because you know what it took to get to this level of understanding, this level of, insight, seeing within, not running from it. I've been telling you guys for quite some time, you have to go online. I think it's on YouTube. There is a documentary. It is extraordinary. It's about Joseph Campbell's work and the hero's journey. You have to watch it. It's called Finding Joe. It's a documentary. It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. And I really wish you guys would listen to me. If you don't take anything else from this show, go watch the documentary. Finding Joe. It's exceptional. We've got callers on the line. I want to make sure I get folk on. Ronan, hold tight. We got to get Alex from Philadelphia, PA. Alex, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic? What's happening, man? Now, let me just say this, Alex. I feel your spirit. I feel your spirit, Alex. It feel like you might slip out a curse word. Don't cuss on the air, Alex. We live on the radio.
Hey, it's all respectful.
All
you
right.
treat me worse than my baby mama treat me, man.
How you doing today, brother, man? Talk to me, man. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Man, the topic was what? What's the downfall in your life?
No, we talking about your inner enemy being actually your inner ally.
I would say, man, and I want to touch on a few things, but I appreciate you for accepting my call, and I want to say I have so much respect for you, bro.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
I would say, and I'm 35, man. I have my own car lot. I've been grinding my whole life, and I finally got to the point where I'm sustainable in life.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the only thing that can stop you in life is yourself.
Come on.
And your limitations of how you look at things in life.
Let's go. Come on. You cooking right now. Keep going.
I'm serious. It's the way you probably grew up or who you surround yourself around. Those are the only things that can stop you in life, because it's money out here for everybody to make. You know what I'm saying? But I also want to touch on this. The brother that called in before me, before the break, keep going, man. Don't never give up. Don't never stop. Keep going. Don't let these women or none of these life stresses get you in a situation where you feel like you want to give up.
I love that.
Because that's part of life. And like my granddaddy used to tell me, man, when the steering wheel turn right, it got to turn back left.
Come on. Come on. The pendulum swing. It got to come back.
It has to.
Oh, I love that. That's a bar, Alex. That is a bar. Hey, brother, guess what you just did?
What's up?
You brought Philadelphia, PA in the building. You got
in the house.
Come
baby.
on, man. You got a seat at the table anytime you want to sit down, man. You can call in anytime. My brother Alex cooked it up real quick. All right, y'all know who's next. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Ronan from Naptown is in the building. Ronan, here you go. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Shamalama ding dong.
Shamalama ding dong, man. You know, profanity. You know, profanity, brother. That's the new way, man. You cuss them out without cussing. You know.
Yeah, that's right, man.
What's the melody, you know?
Oh, man. This is an awesome topic.
Thank you, brother.
Being your own worst enemy is definitely being your greatest teacher. Growing up, I say, like, with certain experiences that were rough, I had to realize, I started looking at myself as an enemy because I was taught to not find value in my voice, which not only turned me to an addict to anger, but started realizing I was emotionally illiterate.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
And the thing is, like, in learning those things, adversity is a great teacher because, like, you run into situations where you have to really look into yourself. And if you don't know the answers, you got to be around people who can actually flesh those things out. And I learned that one of the biggest lessons is there's no valor in victimhood.
There's no valor in victimhood. Say more. Expound.
Well, the thing is, I know it's a conversation we're supposed to have about vindictive victims, but when you go around with this narrative, there's a lot of people who will fight tooth and nail to remain a victim for cheap attention, validation, and the fear of actually seeing those results outside of your cage. And the thing is, like, that's the toughest part, is like not just recognizing you do need assistance, but actually enacting the steps to get your legs together, get on the other side of things. And that goes in other areas. So it's tough, but the thing is, like, you have to get rid of your ego with the leaving in solitary confinement if you decide to remain a victim.
But I don't know if it's getting rid of the ego or if it's integrating the ego with all the other parts of yourself. The ego becomes an actor when you keep the shadow and everything separate.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because, you know, we villainize the ego, but I think they all go together. That's individuation. What are your thoughts?
No, and you're right about that. The thing is, like, it's all about what you empower your ego to do, whether it could be either your guard or it should be or your enslaver.
Either your security or or your warden. I hear you. Yes. Yes. This is heavy stuff. Ronan, at any point in your life, or at what point in your life, my friend, have you viewed yourself, I'm talking internally, as your own worst enemy?
When I tried to mask myself behind acts of service rather than acts of self-repair.
Come on, Ronan. You make us all proud when you call in and say things like that, good brother. Boy, let me tell you something, man. I feel like that day when my son signed that national letter of intent. That was powerful. I was standing behind him with my arms crossed, like, yes, sir, yes, sir. Say it again, brother. That was a bar. Do it one more time.
Okay, we got to be very careful because a lot of us tend to mask ourselves behind acts of service rather than acts of self-repair. And there's a big difference because a lot of people figure they're beneficial being a butler in order to avoid taking care of their business.
And you know what's deep about what you're saying? Don't you know when you repair yourself, you repair everyone else?
Yeah. You actually do. And the thing is, like, when it comes to actual relationships or even interpersonal work, it's important you become the best architect you can be because you know the good, bad, and weak points, and you got to repair that structure, which is you. And there's a lot of broken people trying to give a lot of misinformation and just shattering everybody along the way.
Let me just say, you don't study spirituality in school. Now, if you're a theologian, you can study doctrine, you can study dogma, you can study apologetics, hermeneutics, exegesis, you can study all of that, but you cannot study spirituality. There's no textbook for it. There's some symbols, but do you understand? So I say that to say, relationally speaking, you got to be in them in order for the evil enemy in you to come out of you. Relationships are, in fact, a type of exorcism.
Yes.
See, you get triggered by the holy water of the reflection of your partner that's coming back to you. You see yourself in it. I know people don't want to hear it that way, though. They don't want to hear it that way. And then what they do, come back and say, you did it. You're at fault. Had you handled it this way? Wait a minute. What if I handled it the way I was supposed to handle it in order to expose you to you?
Yeah.
And while exposing you to you, I exposed me to me. It was supposed to happen that way, right? Hold tight, Ronan. We cooking. When I come forward, I'm going back to Indiana, man.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Tips to help improve basic steps for building a budget in 2024. Building a budget can help you achieve and reach your financial goals. With a budget, you can keep track of your spending, avoid and get out of debt, limit overspending, pay bills on time, and build solid savings habits. What's the best way to get started? Figure out how much to set aside for expenses, like rent, mortgage, bills, groceries, and entertainment. Understanding your past financial habits can help you make the proper adjustments for your budget. Adjusting to a budget can take time as you work to find the right balance, but keep working on it. For more financial health tips, visit chase.com or stop by a local branch. This segment is sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avastin-capted Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Linking social justice and climate justice all year long. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LAC-JCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
The first stage in the hero adventure, when he starts off on adventure, is leaving the realm of light, which he controls and knows about, and moving toward the threshold. And it's at the threshold that the monster of the abyss comes to meet him. And then there are 2 or 3 results. One, the hero is cut to pieces and descends into the abyss in fragments to be resurrected. Or he may kill the dragon power, as Siegfried does when he kills the dragon. But then he tastes the dragon blood. That's say he has to assimilate that power. And when Siegfried has killed the dragon and tasted the blood, he hears the song of nature. He has transcended his humanity, and associated himself with the powers of nature.
The way our relationships are set up today, it's designed to suppress the dragon. And we only want to deal with the dragon when the relationship go bad, and then we start going to therapy if we care enough, or we ghost people when we don't, right? But that's how relationships are designed. They're designed to show us, ourselves, our dragons. Gosh, it's really not that difficult. Ronan.
Sir.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Get in here and wrap it up for us. We up against the clock. Let's do it.
Okay, well, I definitely think I agree with you. Today's relationships are designed to keep you creatively constipated. And but I actually want to extend my thanks to everybody in the chat that's listening, but mainly you and Angela that's helped me to get to this point of the self-discovery. And I'm about less than a year from having my bachelor's in graphic design, so I thank you guys for that.
Come on, man. What? Ronan from Indianapolis, man. He up in here doing the work, brother. Guess what you just did, man?
Brian, Indianapolis back in the building.
Naptown is in the building, and Andy informs me that I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone for a while. Everybody going to be gone, huh? We going to be on break. But this is effectively my last day for what? A week? 2 weeks? A week? Then I come back, do one show, then I'm gone another week. Because, I'll forget and be gone another 2 weeks. No, I'm just, man, oh, Manischewitz, the voice of reason has been on complete fire all of 2024. Hey, listen, 2024 has been a very, very, very rough year for a lot of people. But the fact that it seemed to be one of the fastest moving years in my experience, it moved very quickly. I'm glad that we getting close to it being over because I'm ready for 2025. I really appreciate everybody who calls in, who contributes, who shows love to this show. It's too many to name, but of course, the Atalas, the Nzingas, Hustle Habits, True Mongers, my brother Haru Ali, Fred, where Fred at? It's too many to name, so don't. Nazarene X, Pretty Brown, Mimi. My goodness, so many folk jump in and participate on this show, man, and I just love it, man, because we're having real conversations about the complexities of relationships, and I think people take relationships too lightly, myself included. I've taken them lightly, and trust me, man, like, the resulting pain is not something you want to experience. But as is always the case, I start the conversations here on the Voice of Reason, and it's really up to you to finish them. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's conversation, and I'll see y'all in a little while. Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason. I'm out. Deuces. Happy holidays.
Hard against this mountainside.